What's going on? How are you guys tonight? Hope you all are doing okay. I know we are all still unfortunately locked inside. That is why I decided to do a Toyota Corolla discussion, mainly because the video on my main channel today was about a New York doctor pretty much admitting and telling what the smart people have known all along. I mean, anyone that's had a relative in a hospital that has, and if you have an IQ above 100, you know that hospitals are not meant to keep people alive and happy and healthy, to say the least. So, how are you guys tonight? Whatever you guys want to talk about, we can chat about. There's just so much stuff ongoing. The video I'm going to talk about, the video I'm doing tomorrow is about them. The children's symptoms suffering from radio frequencies now. Why they're letting prisoners out of jail. I'm going to do this week. How they're intentionally crashing the food supply. I'm starting to think. I'm pretty confident that the grand solar minimum is just bullshit and that they're using it as a reason to crash the food supply. So it's hard to say. Corexit is killing the ocean. It's oil dumping, and the government says it's global warming. Yeah, the apparent someone was sending me someone sent me a study that I browsed through yesterday that the fish is no longer safe to eat because now they're dumping shit in the ocean, which is possible. Corexit needs to be stopped, but it won't, and it will ruin the earth. Frank Tufano's about to enter the room. I'm so excited to see him serving sexy pocket twunk on conspiracy crack realness with expressive bushy Greek grandpa eyebrows. Are you guys excited too? That's a pretty accurate description. They will bring 20 police and an officer who looks like a eugenicist to your door. They have zero rights to enter your property or to touch you. You have God's human rights. You know what's crazy is I haven't done a video on it yet, and I wanted to. Have you guys seen the fucking tests for the Toyota Corolla? What they do in the test? They shove this swab. They shove this swab like 2 feet up your nose, and then they hold it there for 3 seconds to make sure that they infect you with whatever they put on the swab. It's comical. If you look at that Toyota Corolla test, and you think that it's and if you think
What
they're
is
not
the
infecting
least
people, you're actually
inflammatory
crazy.
carbohydrate source of energy if one doesn't have access to fat and cannot consume raw dairy? If it's not honey, then what is it?
Yeah, probably some type of organic fruit. When you're talking about starches, the starches still have to be broken down by pancreatic enzymes, and anything that's not glucose or fructose has to be broken down first. So my argument is that, well, if you're gonna consume carbohydrates, why add an extra step? Why bother adding an extra step to digestion when you can just consume the glucose and the fructose already in the form of fruit or something or sugar, as opposed to consuming the carbohydrate starch source, which then needs to be broken down into the sugars anyway. You're basically, by consuming fruits instead of starches, you're basically cutting out a step. That being said, it's difficult to, I always point people to my, do athletes need carbohydrates video, where I explain this in depth. But to give you a short answer, basically, whatever high quality organic fruit you have access to that you respond well to. Frank is just finishing up his blood flow restriction training. The name of Q is a psyop designed to pacify the population. If you think something good is happening, you won't resist, and that's good for them. Yeah, I think Q is all fake bullshit because they're still setting up the Wi-Fi towers and the infrastructure, and no one's talking about it or putting it down. People are really, 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 really stupid. It's sad that the point is they set up this infrastructure, it's over, and people are too stupid to realize what's going on. They can literally go on the news every single day and they'll just start changing. Oh, now the virus does this, now the virus does that. Why isn't this focusing? They literally change the symptoms every day. They could say, oh, well, now the virus makes you grow hair on your face. Like, it's stupid. They could literally say whatever they want in the news and people will believe it. Hope you're doing well, Frank. I got a copy of your flyer. Going to print some out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna order a bunch of flyers and staple them to telephone poles around my town. Elon Musk is setting up Skynet. Yeah, Elon Musk is about to fry us with the satellites, while the elites are living in concrete houses or underground bunkers where they're safe from the radio frequencies. Did you see how the virus now causes strokes in young people? Complete predictive programming. Yeah, they're literally giving people the radio frequencies are probably affecting calcium metabolism so much that people are getting blockages and getting strokes. And they're just saying it's the virus. A virus does not cause fucking strokes. This is ridiculous bullshit. And people are so fucking stupid they believe it. Basically, they're using the virus as an excuse to kill off the people who are sensitive to the new Wi-Fi frequencies. Yeah, now people's toes are changing colors. COVID toes. What a joke. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Today, our government said the Toyota Corolla also got caught in livestock. What's your opinion? They're just using it as an excuse to take away meat and control the food supply. This is literally all a planned and orchestrated takedown of our society to turn it into like a communist country. You don't want to use aluminum for anything. You don't want to cook with aluminum at all. What can we do? I mean, I'm doing as much as I can. I'm talking about it in like 3 videos a week. I sent out flyers last night for people that signed up to frank-stefano.com. I'm going to hand out flyers around my town. People don't seem to understand that if these antennas and these towers are set up, they're going to literally literally going to brainwash everyone. Literally going to brainwash everyone. Ice Age Farmer made a video and he's completely lost it. You guys have been joking. Like, Ice Age Farmer has been slowly losing it over and over again. AI takeover of food launched. Trump's Meat XO.
Ladies and gentlemen, the powers that be are actively now making their move to take total control over the food supply, just as they are most things right now. This is a complete blitzkrieg across all vectors of society and resources. And food is the one area that's not nearly being discussed enough. And so let's talk about that. Because whereas the meat shortages and the food shortages, the supply chain interruptions about which this channel has been warning for months and years, in fact, now, are now playing out. They are now being brought into the spotlight for the public's eye to see, with Tyson Foods taking out full-page ads in multiple publications yesterday about the fact that explaining that the food supply chain is broken. And then with today, President Trump coming out and issuing an executive order mandating that these meat processing plants that have been shutting down reopen and they keep serving up American foods. People's attention is very much on this. It's suddenly very much in the limelight. And so when a problem is served up on a platter like that to the public, generally...
Hey, maybe we'll talk about this in another video this week. He usually covers stuff pretty well. I'll do a video on it. I'll watch that and I'll do like my take on it sometime this week. How long will the food supply chain last? They say 3 million could starve to death in a 2-month period. What do you mean 3 million people where? There's like an article saying that other countries are having food issues. Have you seen Berlin's protest? No, what happened in Berlin? What do you think the response to the flyers will be? People will probably dismiss them because they're not from a credible source. Yeah, they're going to dismiss the flyers. Then they're going to send their kids back to school. And their kids are going to come back home with the same fucking symptoms that were on the flyer. And they're going to be like, what the fuck? That's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to be... I'm going to hand out flyers that tell people, do not send your children back to school. They're going to get these symptoms. They're going to send the kids back to school. They're going to get those symptoms, and I told you so. Let's see how stupid people are, really. Is the Pentagon revealing UFOs a distraction? Everything's a distraction. Everything's a distraction. From frying you with radio wave technology, people will believe whatever gets played. Reddit, it's scary how Reddit is literally like the chief propaganda piece right now. Some protests happening in Brazil too. Can you make a European flyer? What do you mean a European flyer? You guys don't speak English over there? People in Berlin got arrested for protesting. They were called radicals. It's ridiculous. Cities die first. Rural farms can still supply rural folks. I can say with certainty that I would dismiss flyers like that even a few years ago. 2,000 plus people went on the streets in Berlin. They underreported and said it was 200. Police were very hard in silencing everyone. People said it was fascism coming up. Frankie Boy's DMing Russian girls right now. Not quite. The best form of protest is to defy the orders. Yeah, I mean, it's not illegal to protest. What do you think people should do with their kids? No, they could send their kids back to school, let them get fucking fried, and then I told you so. And they're going to petition to town to get the devices taken out, or they're just going to let their kids die. I don't know what they're going to do. Or, you know what's more realistically going to happen? They're not going to listen to the flyers I hand out. They're going to send their kids back to school. When the kids get very sick, they're going to put them in the hospital, and the hospitals are going to rack up a bill and kill their kids. I don't listen. I might do another. The point of this live stream was to get all of these theories together and figure out what to discuss in the next Toyota Corolla update. It's very hard to gauge what actually happened. It seems like I'm gonna fucking cook my neighbor's dog over a fire. I swear to God. This guy every day. This old man has this. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm losing my mind. So. My understanding is the Toyota Corolla, the Toyota Corolla is a real virus. So there was a Chinese scientist that studied in I think it was North Carolina. There's a Chinese scientist that studied virology or something. Basically, there's a Chinese scientist that studied how to make viruses in America. And the Chinese scientist went back to China, the lab in Wuhan, and created this ridiculous bioweapon virus. And it was released, and it was from that lab, and it was blamed on the wet market nearby. So to my understanding, the virus is real, and it was released. Whether it was planned or not, I'm assuming it was planned. I don't know. So that's one thing for certain. Now, they were planning on using that virus to do what they're doing now, to crash the economy, to install the Wi-Fi infrastructure, to pretty much make a one world government, global currency, make everyone a slave, install the Wi-Fi infrastructure. We know that's what their plan is, and that's what they're doing with the virus. Those are the overarching definites for the most part. In England, they're saying it's affecting kids' hearts. I'll try and find you the link. Yeah, I'm talking about that tomorrow. They're literally radiating kids with Wi-Fi. This is it. If this does not get people to say something, then nothing will. If killing children does not get people to say something, then nothing will. Was the 5 grams only installed in children's schools? What about other public places? What should be warned? I'm going to do another video tomorrow. Frank, be careful the way you word things, buddy. Don't want to see you get in trouble. Get in trouble? They're killing fucking children. You guys are a bunch of fucking pussies, I swear to God. Maybe people don't understand that the right to peaceably assemble doesn't just apply to protesting. Protesting isn't more sacred than going for a picnic. All peaceful gatherings are the right of. When their children get sick, they will understand. That's the point. Have you seen the 5 grams confirmed installation inside a church? I haven't seen that. Who would want to kill the kids and why though? Why? Because they're satanic and they literally one of the gods they worship is literally called Moloch. And if you Google Moloch, it's literally a god of child sacrifice. The only thing that makes sense here is that these people literally believe that by radiating and killing children, they're offering to their god. That's literally what these people are. Fucking crazy psychos. Every elementary school I've driven to has a higher concentration of those smart streetlights than other streets. Yeah, they're literally trying to kill children. Didn't you say the internet was going to be shut down on April 1st? 1st of April? Yeah, that was that Q PSYOP stuff. I didn't say it was going to. I said people are rumoring that. They're killing more than kids. Everyone who died on a ventilator in the last few months. Yeah, but the point is now that they're targeting children, you would think it's more obvious that, you know, children shouldn't be dying from something like this. I've been noticing so many cell towers in my area. Not good. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're installing the infrastructure to literally blast everyone. It's going to be installed, and this is why you guys don't understand. The reason they locked us in our homes and the reason you can't go anywhere is because if you go to these places, they're not going to be able to install the new Wi-Fi infrastructure. They have literally installed weaponry in every single public place. I'm really confused when you keep saying they. Who are the people enforcing this? It doesn't matter. There's evil people in charge of the world that are trying to harm that are trying to harm us. That's the point. Six-foot bubbles are next. This one guy said that the reason they want people to be 6 feet apart is because they can target people with the weaponry if they're 6 feet apart. If you're in a crowd of people, you can't really isolate or target individuals. It's like they can't. If people are 6 feet apart, they can individually target people with the weaponry. Can you elaborate on Verizon and Moloch? I didn't want to talk about this stuff too much because I'm gonna do a video on it tomorrow. Are you familiar with the Weekend Warrior channel? Yeah, I don't know if that cube is bullshit psyop stuff. I can't really tell. They're running fiber optic cable over all suburbs of Chicago. Yeah, I'm basically just I'm applying for a loan. I'm applying for a loan ASAP. Hopefully, you're gonna get your channel taken down. You're walking a fine line. What am I exactly talking about? That's bad. How am I walking a fine line? I'm just explaining that they're putting up cell towers in schools and that the radio frequencies emitted by those towers is dangerous. How is that walking a fine line? What is wrong with saying that? I'm a bit confused. I'm telling you, they're installing dangerous technology in schools, on your streets, on your telephone poles, and they know that this stuff is going to harm you. So I don't understand why I'm walking a fine line by talking about this. Why do you think vegans get headaches? It could be lack of B vitamins, lack of omega-3s, brain rotting away, basically. I can see kids going back to school, getting sick, thinking it's the Toyota, and the society goes crazy and the lockdown measures return. That's exactly what they plan on doing. But the goal, what we have to do as soon as possible is that's why I'm trying to inform people. The reason they are saying there's going to be a second wave, and the reason they are predictive programming that into people is because they are going to turn these towers on, and people are going to get very sick, and they're going to do the same thing all over again. The only way to prevent that from happening is to make people aware of what they're doing. All I notice is that they're installing microcell towers at the intersection of where grocery stores are. Yeah, something has to be done about this. The people have to be made aware of what they're doing with these towers and this infrastructure. And then the general population is so stupid. It's like they're literally putting a turret in front of your house and you're like, oh, it's okay. It's literally invisible weaponry. I found those smart LED lights near my church. I start coughing when I go near them. Perfect cover to blame so they can lock down people in their homes again in the fall. Yep. Are these people getting paid or what? No, there's a bunch of the idiots installing this stuff are probably getting paid a mediocre salary. They're probably happy to have a job. But the main goal of these people is depopulation. Communism, depopulation. They want to live like royalty and they want everyone to be slaves. I wonder if they also pushing electronic cigarettes like Juul to harm our kids. Yeah, no shit. They're trying to kill everyone. Everything that's done, every single thing that's done in our modern society is for them to make money and to harm your health. Every single thing can be. The point is, whatever they're doing, they're benefiting from it monetarily and they're harming your health. Why are there a lot of YouTube channels claiming their loved ones died from Toyota Corolla? Are these people getting paid? First of all, you can't test for Toyota Corolla. You can only test for. They were only testing for antibodies and to answer your question, yes. If someone's making a video claiming their loved one died of Toyota Corolla and it's getting a lot of views, it's 100% a paid bullshit. And there are more stories of people saying, oh, my dad died of a heart attack, but I couldn't get them to change the death certificate. Do you plan on making a video about beta-alanine and other supplements? I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, honestly, it's hard to say what, the future. I honestly think this might be really it from that perspective. They say the death spike will happen in July. Will be allowed to come out for Christmas time. Stop saying, this is what pisses me off. They say the death spike will happen in July. Yeah, it's going to happen if you let them. They're going to turn these Wi-Fi towers on. A lot of people are going to get sick. These idiots are going to go to the hospital, and the hospitals are going to kill them. They try to kill the slaves. Who will work then? The robots? What do you mean, who will work then? These elite people already have hundreds of thousands of cuck retards that are okay with making a mediocre salary that will do whatever they say. They already have people working for them. Why would they want to depopulate if they need us to be cheap workers in order for them to live like royalty? No, you don't need 10 billion people on the planet. Hundreds of million is plenty. What foods are high in copper? Have you noticed they're trying to target your forehead when taking your temperature at the mall entrances? When you turn your head away, they get pissed. 500 million slaves is enough. So the two overarching things that we said earlier are, one, that we know the virus is artificially made bioweapon, and two is that they're using it to create this new world government with all this satanic depopulation bullshit. The question is, the outlying factor here is the QAnon stuff real? And the QAnon stuff is basically, Trump is a good guy, the Democrats are all pedophiles, and they have millions of child slaves in underground facilities. They have these underground cities that they're bombing and stuff, and that they're rescuing children. Trump's the good guy, blah, blah, blah. And that the reason we're all locked inside is because if we were in these places and assembling, that they could target us and hurt us. Now, the reason I don't believe the QAnon stuff is mainly because they're setting up this Wi-Fi infrastructure. Regardless of whether you want to believe the QAnon stuff or not, I call bullshit as soon as this Wi-Fi, this Wi-Fi infrastructure is getting set up. I call bullshit 100%. Trump, if QAnon was real, Trump would literally be sending out tweets of people to take down the Wi-Fi towers. So it's not real. I think it's bullshit. I think he's just a controlled puppet, and I think we're all fucked if we don't realize that soon enough. I think anyone that believes in the QAnon stuff is a fucking idiot and needs to get back to reality. UFOs all over the national news every last 2 days. Have you seen this? I don't give a shit about UFOs because they're setting up fucking towers that are going to fry your brains in front of your homes. And Elon Musk is launching satellites. Jeff Bezos is launching satellites, and they're going to fucking fry us while they live in their mansions that are built out of fucking steel and silver that protect them from the radio waves. Automation, AI, biometric measurements, smart cities will replace retail, restaurants, and transportation. Do the sheeple deserve to be vaccinated? It's kind of weird because my parents fail some IQ tests, but they won't get they won't get injected. So like my parents believe in the virus, my parents believe in the news, but my parents believe in the testing, but they don't believe that they think getting an injection is bad. Presidents know shit about 5G. They think it's needed for technological progress of their country. Literally brainwashed. You're an idiot if you think the presidents don't know exactly what 5G is doing to people. Every single elite person on this planet, as they grew up, one of the most important things they were educated in was the importance of radio frequencies. Elon Musk is sending 40,000 satellites called Starlink. Do you guys understand, like...
What happened with that girl you were talking about in your TikTok video?
5 minutes, then stopped. I can't tell that story. I'm not allowed to tell that story. So, this doesn't sound right. Elon Musk sent 40,000 satellites called Starlink. How much does it cost to build a fucking satellite? Millions of dollars per satellite? He's literally putting satellites into space to fry us. You're so handsome with short hair. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of think the man bun is gay, but internet companies are also starting to advertise faster internet upgrades for those stuck in quarantine. They're showing us their hand and taunting us with their weaponry. It's ridiculous. You guys keep worrying about stuff that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters right now is that they're installing this stuff, and if we can't get these towers and stuff taken down, we are fucked. They're saying we're going to have meat shortages in Canada. Yeah, just like they told you there's a virus. They're controlling the food supply. There's no meat shortages. They're intentionally shutting down meat processing plants. They're intentionally getting farmers to cull their herd because they're trying to scare the population and deprive them of any semblance of nutrition they were getting. Think they're pushing this population control to prevent climate change or other intentions? Climate change is bullshit. Everything they've told you is bullshit. Everything that you've been told is just... Everything you've been told is a tool to further a communist regime, whatever. And communist, maybe communist isn't the best word. The point is they want a one world government. And we're all going to be living like slaves, where everyone is allegedly equal. And by everyone is equal, they mean everyone's a fucking slave and we're royalty. One of my neighbors got her stimulus check and bragged about how she's upgrading her phone to use 5 grams, and it was fucking disgusting. Yeah, I'm legit gonna just get a Russian hooker and overdose on cocaine if I get my stimulus check. It still hasn't come yet. So if I go missing, if you guys don't see a video for a couple days, you know what happened. Order out of chaos. Yeah, how do you explain that? Will your company have meat shortages? Not to my understanding. I tested positive for the Toyota Corolla antibodies. Do you recommend Q-Link? Q-Link is bullshit. Nothing protects you from EMF besides actual shielding equipment. A little pendant or a rock is not going to protect you from Wi-Fi. Rest in peace, Frank. Let's hope it's some quality coke. It's going to be so much it doesn't fucking matter. Nothing wrong with meat and honey. I just had Wagyu ribs with Manuka honey. Sounds expensive. That's one hell of a New Zealand meal, though. New Zealand Wagyu New Zealand Wagyu short ribs with New Zealand Manuka honey. Don't you have one though? I don't have a Q link. It's bullshit. Russians will marry you for citizenship. Find me a pretty one. We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. Yep, everything they believe is false. Why the fuck are all you shills advertising that stupid fucking doctor on my channel? Is that the project? Is that the project where you're gathering people's information so you know who to throw in jail at the end of this year? Are you worried about gout with all the honey? I don't get gout unless I consume too much dairy. What specifically? I placed a meat order today. We'll go out tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah. I was out for a drive today and saw workers working on trees by adding wires and stuff to them. Yeah, they're putting up towers to blast your fucking brains. You believe in the globe, Frank? If you retards bother me one more fucking time about what shape this Earth is, I'm gonna install a fucking Wi-Fi tower myself in your house. If I ever find out where you dipshits live that are keep telling me, oh, what the shape of the fucking Earth, I'm literally gonna get a job for Verizon and go over to your house and install fucking Wi-Fi in your house. Don't let people contract trace. I mean, Big Brother surveil you. It's ridiculous. They come up with these terms, contact trace. They want to contact trace you. Well, what's another new term? Social distancing. Fucking dog shit. Frank Tefano is anti-communist regime, yet still wants to bang hot Russian spies. I mean, I don't know if they sent me a cute dude if they sent me a cute dude in a dress, I might change my mind. I don't fucking know at this point. Why do you still have so many health problems? Because I have titanium in my head from jaw surgery, and my head's like an antenna. EMF neutralizers work? No. What's the plan if they try to force inject us? They're not going to be able to force inject us.
Frankie, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Oh, wait, I know the response to this. A woodchuck can chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. With the new Wi-Fi 5 grams, they will know everybody's location at any time. Yeah, and this is what you guys have to understand is that the people that are in charge of this world, that are in these secret societies, the way they make money and the way they're successful is because they steal other people's information and they use their platform to broadcast it. You guys saw this happen to me with the Carnivores. They stole some of my information and they reprogrammed it into their message and sold products. That's basically what they're using this new infrastructure for partially. Why the man bun? Plan on going to Ram Ranch. We're in this together. Do your part. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Yeah, how about you go choke on a fucking bottle of Purell or some shit. Frank likes manly built girls. Only if they have to be taller than me too. Frank, don't send that. They'll actually send you one. I've already said it. Have I said it in public or have I? I don't know if I think I've said that on a live stream before. What are steak ends? So we have primals. So what happens is on the primals, the end of it is like a little rounded and it's not a whole steak. So we have to. So those are like the trimmings that we can either like just not use. We can either like cut them up or we could sell them. It's basically like ribeye scraps. Or strip scraps. Frank is extra mad today. I might be a little mad today. I'm mad because I found out they were the killing children stuff doesn't fly. That's where I start going up to people's houses and calling them fucking stupid. Frank, just go to Bangkok, dude. I'm not into the Asian ones. Well, 5 grams make cattle more sick than grains. I mean, if I was going to get a farm, I would make sure the towers are nowhere near my farm. Journalist on Twitter called for the imprisonment of 5-gram conspiracy theorists. I told him if 5 grams is safe, he should take his family to a house near a 5G tower and live there. Notice most of the terms being used are similar to wartime terms. They want us to think we're at war fighting the invisible enemy. I watch you with the girl I work with. She's upset your hair is up. I find it hard to believe that you do not like Asians. I kind of like Asian girls. I don't really like Asian boys. Would it be better to cook in an oven or cast iron for steaks? I mean, depends on what you want. You're not going to get a sear in an oven. So, I mean, like, do you guys have... So, what have we surmised so far about... What do I have to do... What do I have to talk about in a Toyota Corolla update video? Farmers in far west Chicagoland are putting up towers on a lease agreement. Yeah, we're all fucked. Yeah, I better get these loans as soon as possible and move into bumfuck nowhere. But Korean boys are practically girls. I disagree. Why so obsessed with Russian girls? I wouldn't say I'm obsessed with Russian girls specifically. Yeah, I just don't really understand how so many people aren't talking about this because, like, I don't get it. Are they just protected? Are they going to be okay in their own? Do they own bunkers? They're going to be okay, and when everyone else is getting fried. I think I'm getting targeted, getting chest pains. I mean, you could tell. You get a meter. Turn your Wi-Fi devices off in your house. I was the most angry when I heard about the little girl who was put on a ventilator for 2 weeks, determined brain dead, then murdered by doctors. Frank just likes manly looking women. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. The ethnicity doesn't matter. They just have to be taller than me. Do you think they will ever fake an alien invasion? I don't fucking know at this point. You could literally, like, I don't know. I'd be curious. You know, you could literally put anything in the mainstream news and the sheeple will believe it. That's the problem. When do you think all the cell towers are going to start frying everyone? In the fall? Well, you'll know. Showing pictures of the Verizon 5-gram antennas would be a good call. They're black and almost look like crosswalk poles, so they're a bit harder to spot if you don't know what to look for. If they cut off the internet, people would go outside and fight the government. I'll take that. People are just worried about the next week's paycheck and watching TV, forgetting about all their health in the long term. IMF, should we take our own lives if we're captured and cannot escape? I mean, I hope it doesn't get to the point where they start trying to throw people in FEMA camps. like the woman in your video said today, if they talk about this stuff, they get fired. I'm sure some influencers want to talk about 5 grams, but are worried about the blowback because people are fucking retarded. They would literally kill children for their own job. That's how evil these doctors are. There's no excuse for that. You want 50K a year, but you're gonna kill someone? You're a fucking asshole. You don't deserve to even be here. I was watching that Hellman guy, and he was saying there were white vans outside schools. I don't see any. They've already installed a lot of the infrastructure in a lot of these places already. Does Frankie Strange meat ship to the UK? No. We just ship to continental US. Police do not have the right to take you to camp without your consent. People are more concerned about money than actually saving lives. No, that's why you have these. You know, we'll use something relevant to my channel, the carnivores. The carnivores don't care that they're poisoning people with estrogenic feedlot beef because they're getting a paycheck and they're being paid to do it. They don't care. People will literally, people will take any amount of money for their. People are inherently selfish. People will take any amount of money for their own well-being. They don't care about harming other people because they're not getting harmed themselves. They don't give a shit. New York Times is saying estrogen might be the cure and therefore they're treating men with it. There is so much bullshit in the news. I just don't even know if I can handle covering this anymore. I've seen Frank's viewership go down ever since he's gotten into these subjects. I'd have to look at it more. I'm not really sure. Why don't you thaw out your meat in the fridge? Sometimes I don't do it fast enough. It takes longer. Alaska and Hawaii safe. I think Alaska's safer than Hawaii because if they install stuff on Hawaii, there's not really anywhere you can go. Seems like it's pretty easy to completely radiate Hawaii. They have to follow God's natural law. Putting up fucking cell towers and frying children in schools is not following God's natural law. These people are fucking ridiculous. Delusional. IMF gives loans to third world countries on the condition to 1, connect rural areas to electricity, 2, injection, 3, chipping of at least 2 family members. That's sad. Have you heard of the disinfectant they're going to put in the schools and buildings central heating and cooling system? What are you talking about? I think they're actually installing radio wave technology in the air, and it's military weaponry. It's not a disinfectant. Anything that's disguised. Hold on. Disinfectant. Disinfectant schools, air conditioning. What did you say? You said they're going to put school and building central heating and disinfectants in heating systems. I didn't see that, but that would be military weaponry they're using.
Frankie, do you rub vitamin D on your meatballs?
Yes, I do, once a day. Do you think the sheeple can be saved? I think everyone on the fence can be put. What about the others? Realistically, we're stronger than them, body, mind, and spirit, even if they obey the evil elite. It's hard to say. I think if we aware people of these towers and people's kids start getting sick, they might wake up. What's up with UV light stuff? A lot are saying we must use it to disinfect. I'm sure it's harmful. I don't really know what they were talking about with that UV light stuff. $40,000 satellites? Come on, sheeple. So if they send out one rocket a day, it's going to take 109 years. I don't know. At my high school building, there's a cellular tower on the football field, and a teacher said they were trying to build more in the classrooms. Yeah, people are going to get very, very sick. Children are going to get cancer. Kids are going to die. And they're going to say, oh, it's not the cell towers. Do you believe that the sheeple, by supporting their policies, are as evil as the elites? No, I mean the evilness comes from the mainstream media purposely deceiving people. UV light kills bacteria, dirt. UV light kills bacteria, but what does that matter? You're just trying to convince people that when there's sunlight out that when the schools first let out, there were kids running all over my neighborhood. Now that's been a month, I've never seen them out anymore. They're probably already sick. Could be. Has nothing to do with Wi-Fi being too slow. And everything that's said is to justify and further their agenda. People are mass manipulated, they're victims. You know, people are just getting manipulated to to obey. Yeah, so what's the summary of what we've gone over so far? Have we really, do we have can we have bullet points we can go through? Pretty sure, the actual virus is a bioweapon. The agenda is clear what they're doing. The Wi-Fi towers and the new devices are the main concern, and that's basically the tool they're using to control people. With you guys have to understand, in these cell towers and these devices and they can literally emit frequencies that can mind control you, change your behavior, change how you think. They know where you are. They can manipulate every single thing you do. You follow a standard American diet, you eat normal food, you get manipulated by this weaponry, you're going to be, that's why they're called the sheeple. They've fallen into this trap and they're controlling them. German scientist who found a way for EMF-free communication was murdered. Yeah, it's called use a directly wired phone. Make a Google Doc and make bullet points, save it for a future video. Frankie says whatever he thinks idiots will eat up. No, I've just said everything I know for sure. That's what's going on and why they're doing it. They're probably going to release Strain 2 and ramp up the towers this year again as a second wave. Yep, that's what I'm saying. I've been saying that for the past 2 weeks. It's very obvious that they're going to turn these towers up and get people sick. It's very obvious that's what they're going to do. That's why I'm making these flyers, and we have to make people aware. What do you think Trump meant by disinfectant? I don't know. There's the QAnon bullshit. It's hard to say because honestly, out of every single thing I've looked at and listened to, the QAnon thing makes the most sense. The only thing that doesn't make sense about the QAnon stuff is that, these Wi-Fi towers and cell towers, no one's saying anything about them. So that although a lot of the QAnon stuff makes sense, the only reason that I believe it's bullshit is because they're not talking about the towers and the Wi-Fi and stuff. Do you have an example of the flyer? I would like to help add graphics. I already sent the flyer to people. I'll pull it up right now. Is the flyer, have you been suffering from symptoms? These are symptoms of radiation poisoning from non-ionizing devices that emit radio wave signals. They will blame these symptoms on the virus. When you've been locked inside, telecom companies are working overtime to get the new weaponry installed in our streets, in our towns, and in our schools in the forms of these new towers and street lights. These are not street lamps. These are not cell towers. This is military weaponry. They have total control over these devices and can ramp up these frequencies to make you very sick. Do not send your children back to school. They have installed these devices and your children will start suffering the above symptoms if they have not already. And this was something that maybe I shouldn't have put in, but this explains why they're doing it. Verizon has a yearly conference called Malakon. Moloch is the biblical name of a Canaanite god associated with child sacrifice. Our rules are evil. Petition your town to remove these devices and keep your family safe. Avoid Wi-Fi technology as much as you can. Don't trust the news. Don't trust your government. Don't trust the police. Insomnia, and these symptoms are people are going to have these symptoms and they're going to realize it's what it is. That's the idea. The Q-tars are wrong about almost everything. Epstein Island was fake. Is Epstein Island fake? I don't know if people are telling the truth about the Epstein stuff or not. The Moloch on the flyer will make people not want to believe it. Molocon is so obvious it's funny. I mean, yeah, it's too fucking obvious. Gonna send that flyer out to a few friends of mine, see how they just laugh. Hopefully not. Your stream isn't showing in any of my boxes. It's on the Frank Tufano channel though. It was a painted set, no tunnels.
Now I have $1,199 left of my stimulus check.
Thanks, Jar. Thanks for the support today. Do AirPods fry your brain? Yes. Do you have any article studies on climate change not being real? Look into solar cycles. Study solar cycles. Look up water vapor. I think I did a video a couple months back on the solar cycles and stuff. See, I don't know if the people that are saying that the Q stuff is bullshit. I think the pedophile stuff is real, but it still doesn't answer the question of why they're letting them put up these Wi-Fi devices. Why is McDonald's considered an essential business? Because it's owned by elites. Because McDonald's is owned by elite people, and the small businesses, the average person is not allowed to make money or be okay. I think some is legit, some is shit. Five grams means no Q. That's basically it. Like, if they're putting up these towers and devices, then it's bullshit. They're putting up the 5 grams to melt the retards and kids so they can get away with more pedo stuff. That's more likely what's going to happen. TikTok later? I don't know. I haven't had any. I have a couple TikTok ideas written down, but we'll see. The whole damn thing is a mess, yeah. I think we'll wrap this up in a few minutes, guys. This conversation hasn't really been that productive. It's a change in class systems. I mean, they're basically destroying anyone who's not part of the Mason elite. Anyone that's been successful on their own or has a small business. You guys spouting the Bible bullshit realize that these crazy assholes probably wrote the Bible. Have you practiced any new dance other than the ratchet dance? I was going to do the... What the hell was it called? I was looking at another one, but I just don't have time to do that shit. Opinion on David Icke. All I know is when I talk about this stuff, I get heavily censored and don't get any views. And when he talks about it, he gets a lot of views. So I think what these people are doing is they're trying to get certain people. They're allowing certain people to talk about stuff, like David Icke, for instance. So when you go and comment David Icke on another video, say, "Oh, look at David Icke stuff," they see that you said his name. They go to your profile. They target you. They have your information. They know you believe in what he's saying. So by only allowing David Icke to talk about 5 grams and not allowing people like me to talk about it, they isolate it to be able to find everyone who's believing it. Icke and Erickson are controlled opposition chills. Yeah. What you guys have to understand about the controlled opposition is what they're saying might be absolutely true, but they're using it to steer you in a direction, which is to keep you away from people that are telling you the real truth and what to do about it. Bible is predictive programming, hypocritical nonsense, power to the people. Yeah, it is predictive programming. Hey, Elizabeth, have a good night. It's called the Trojan horse. I don't think that's how it works. He tells you the truth and then lies when it matters. I mean, I haven't been listening to too much of his stuff or anything. I know who he is, though. Did you hear Dr. Shiva owns a vaccine company? I'm not surprised. Is InfoWars controlled? Yeah. Yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap this up early tonight. So thank you guys for joining me. If I missed your question or you have any more questions, you guys can leave them down in the comments below. I'm a little tired, so I still have to edit a video and do a little work tonight for a couple hours, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Yeah, the videos every day are taking a toll, so we'll see. Take things day by day, but I'll see you guys for tomorrow's video, and then we'll do, of course, videos every day this week. The next live stream will be Thursday at 8 p.m. We'll probably do a carnivore diet Q&A or just a ask me anything. I'll see. We'll see what we'll do. But you guys enjoy the rest of your night.